So, yeah, predation as a whole isn't a bad thing, and it really removes a lot of the pain and suffering out of the natural world.
No, it doesn't. So you're wrong. Lower reproductive rates, lower suffering.
Without predation, animals who aren't predators, the plant-eating animals, they would have no. The only thing that would limit their numbers would be resources, so they would eat their...
Yeah, but we know that's not how it works, though. Okay, nature compensates. Nature adjusts your reproduction rate based on how much you're getting predated. So if you're not getting predated, your reproduction rates will decline. Einstein.
Themselves out of resources, reproducing until they ate themselves out of resources. And then huge parts of the population would starve to death, which...
yeah, well, that's the short-term pain, but the long-term gain, right? So they'll pay a short-term price for it, but in the long run, they'll acclimate to their new environment, to their new reproductive rate, and they'll live fuller, longer, more peaceful existences.
If you can somehow show how starving to death is less, causes more suffering than predation does.
Those aren't the only two choices, Einstein.
When it works correctly, then I'm all ears. But I don't think anyone can provide the rational argument.
There's plenty of animals on this planet right now who have no natural predators. Obviously, they don't consume themselves out of existence. So obviously there's other mechanisms to balance population. So your argument fails.
To prove how predation brings suffering into the system, because it only seems logical that predation takes suffering out of the system.
Well, as I stated before, what predation does is oblige organisms to increase reproduction rates, to create more victims, merely to be predated more quickly, so the length and quality of life is diminished by predators.
Everybody knows that predators don't like having to chase down the strongest, smartest animal in the bunch. They want to chase down the weakest, sickliest animal.
Or else they want to go after exactly the opposite, because it's to their advantage to destroy the generals of the opposing pack, or the other menace tribe, or whatever it would be. The hyenas will often go against the biggest and bravest of the lions because they want to wipe out the biggest menace. So they'll take 20 or 30 of them to do the job, but they will do the job.
In the bunch because it's less work. And when they do this, not only are they ending the suffering of that animal, but they're stopping its genetic...
ending its suffering, yes, exactly. They ended the suffering of the one-day-old gazelle. Right, it was suffering and it got ended. Now, there's a lot of things that account for weakness. Alright, you sprain your fucking ankle. They're not ending your suffering, they're killing you, you fuck.
Its ability to genetically pass on its sickly traits. So, not only will its suffering end when it is preyed upon, but...
Yeah, well, the fact that environmental circumstances will oblige animals to accommodate the environmental circumstances is a given. Every animal will become as strong as it has to be to survive in its environment. Alright, but obviously animals like on the Galapagos, for example, where they didn't have any predators, they became very extravagant and kind of bizarre and strange and not very durable by the same standards in some other part of the world, because they didn't have to face the same challenges. But they live long fucking lives. I mean, the tortoises are probably, Galapagos tortoises are probably the longest living walking, breathing animal on Earth. So again, your argument loses, it fails, it's dismal, it's stupid.
Also, its progeny, who will have a higher likelihood for the same sickness, will also be out of the picture. if they...
Yeah, well, regardless, if you're not dying from the sickness and you're just dying because you're at the end of the fucking pack or on the outside of the pack, or there's five, like I said, natural selection isn't quite that surgical. It's a little sloppy sometimes. So sometimes it's mixing in the perfectly healthy with the feebly born. It is not the science you're making it out to be. It's a crude force. And as I stated, there's lots of animals on little isolated islands living wonderful lives without something chomping on their throat.
Haven't already been brought in. So its future progeny will also be denied of their suffering. So this on a whole, predation really is a positive sum game. So
it's idiotic to say positive sum game. The word sum means equal sign. That means the net result, the product is forthcoming. All right, and it doesn't produce a product. Okay, it produces suffering, period, in the animals that are predated. And as I pointed out, there is no real biological necessity for the existence of such a system, so there's no way to justify the negative created. So it's your math is broken.
Failing the whole project of nature because of predation does...
I don't even know what to do with that sentence. Failing the whole project of nature because of predation. Sorry, can't do anything with that.
Doesn't seem to have any rational basis.
No, that's not why I say nature is broken. I say nature's broken because it has no brain, that it imposes suffering through predation or through disease or through genetically engineered failure, guaranteed obsolescence. It's in our genes. It's guaranteed. I'm guaranteed to become obsolete. I say all of it's broken. The whole fucking thing is insane. It's stupid. It was built by a molecule, idiot.
I think that's all I have to say on that for right now. It's going to be a short video, but if anyone has any questions, I will be quick with the video response to answer your question.
Yeah, what question could there be? Yeah, sorry, no questions here. You did not address a relevant argument of mine, and the argument you made was logically broken. So, thank you very much. Till next time, hopefully not.